folks. You're tuned to Love 101 FM, the family station. Welcome to another edition of The Healthy Way. Today, we're talking about something quite interesting and important. Yeah, blood donation. That's what we're talking about today. Now, a team of researchers and physicians based at the UHWI, that's the University of the West Indies, University Hospital of the West Indies, is conducting research to explore the utility and efficacy of blood donated by persons recovered from COVID in the treatment of hospitalized persons with severe COVID. Sounds interesting, right? Well, a member of the team is with me today, Dr. Yohann White. Dr. White, how are you? Welcome.
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Good morning to you and your listeners.
Good. Give us a little background as to what we're talking about.
Right. Thanks for having us. First, let me just commend Dr. Gillian Wharf, who is the hematologist and the brain behind this study, who had the foresight and the leadership to initiate a research study of this nature.
Right.
Now, this study is primarily investigating the use of blood products from patients who have recovered from COVID-19. And this blood, after separating a certain part of it, that's called the plasma, is given to somebody who has severe COVID-19, who's hospitalized and has difficulty beating the disease. Now, the underlying principle is that when you're infected with a germ, including COVID-19, which is a virus, your body produces what we call antibodies. Anti means against, and bodies means like something that's foreign to your own body. And so your body produces what we call antibodies. And it is believed that these antibodies, if taken from somebody who has beat the disease, maybe because they have better quality antibodies or they have a higher level of antibodies, and you take that and you give it to somebody who's having difficulty beating COVID-19, it may help them to recover faster and to clear the virus. Because there may be an underlying reason for some persons not being able to beat COVID-19 as some persons would do. And that may be because their antibodies that they produce may not be as efficient in binding to the virus or killing the virus, or they're not producing the right amounts of antibodies. So that is really the underlying principle.
Well, let's go back a little. The plasma is a liquid part of the blood, right?
Yes.
And I'm looking at a diagram here. I see the plasma at the top. I see the white blood cells and I see red blood cells. So,
right.
Yes, walk us through that.
Yes. So, as you know, your blood is made up of many things. There are some solid parts or cells. For example, you may know your red blood cells that people talk about. If your blood count is low, you must have heard that term. And they say that you're anemic, right? So that has to do with the red blood cells. And then there are the white blood cells, which are like little soldiers in the blood that go around and they fight infections, either by gobbling them up or eating them or destroying them. And then you have the liquid part of the blood, which is called the plasma. So after you, for example, spin it around in what we call a centrifuge or a special machine that allows you to spin down the blood, you will separate the solid parts or the cells from the liquid part. So antibodies are actually not cells. They are little molecules that are secreted by other cells. And so they're floating in the liquid part. So really you want the liquid part that has the antibodies to be able to put that into somebody who is having difficulty beating COVID-19.
And so you're asking for donors to donate?
Yes. This is very important because for us to be able to do the study and for us to be able to find out if, in fact, this approach has a benefit to persons who, are hospitalized with severe COVID-19, it depends on having enough blood donors, right? So persons who have had COVID-19, whether you had symptoms like, fever, shortness of breath, a cough, diarrhea, loss of taste, loss of smells. Those are some of the common symptoms. Also, you might not have had any symptoms at all, but you came in contact with somebody who is confirmed to have had COVID-19. And persons may have had a test, which we call a PCR test, which is the deep swab of the nose or the back of the nose and throat that would have come back positive, right? So those are the persons who would have had some symptoms. They would have spent their 14 days in isolation. And, we're generally asking for persons who are about 21 days, so 3 weeks to almost 4 weeks past their last symptoms or so,
Right.
to contact us to see if they have mounted enough antibodies and if they're interested in having that blood donated to help somebody who's battling COVID-19 on the ward.
Yeah. And you also have you have what do you call this again? The word okay, it slipped me. So there's a form on your website.
Yes, yes,
Um,
yes, right.
right, that they can also access and answer some questions.
Yes. So
Uh,
there are a number of questions that are related to what I just outlined. For example, when
mhm,
they would have had symptoms,
right.
their age, because these persons donating blood will have to also meet blood donation criteria from our blood bank, and that includes an age limit between
Mhm,
18 and 60 years, have
yeah.
to have a certain body weight, not using any recreational drugs at the moment, and no respiratory symptoms, etc.
Mhm,
So there is a form at uhi.gov.jm/COVID-19 plasma.
mhm,
That's uhi.gov.jm/COVID-19 plasma. And persons can also contact us by telephone at 876-977-2327. That's
mhm.
876-977-2327. And our research team also has a mobile phone with
Mhm.
WhatsApp functionality. So you can WhatsApp us at 876-828-0933. So that's 876-828-0933. And it doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to be asked to donate blood immediately, because what we
Mhm.
do is we take a little bit of blood first in a couple of tubes and
Mhm.
we test if you have the right level of antibodies
Oh,
before we then proceed to the donation part.
great. But you still want them to contact you. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes,
Good. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, I pray you get some people to donate so you can get the
yes,
research going.
yes. And,
Yeah.
if persons have any questions, they can
Yeah.
call us.
Mm-hmm.
Persons may have certain questions as to whether they didn't have a test, but they felt they had COVID-19. We can still screen for antibodies. If you yourself are not eligible or don't wish to donate blood, please tell your friends, right? We do know that at the rate at which infections are now, there are a lot of people out there who have COVID-19, but they're worried about, coming to a health facility,
Mm-hmm.
or they might not have had a good experience. But our research team is trained to answer your questions, to make you as comfortable as possible. You don't have to come into a facility waiting for a long time, etc. We'll be there to guide persons who are interested in assisting in the study.
Wonderful. I can't allow you to go without asking about the vaccine. Your thoughts on the vaccine, Dr. White?
Say that again.
Your thoughts on the vaccine?
Well, we have a global pandemic that is actually killing people at a very rapid rate.
Mm-hmm.
And if we have something like a vaccine that can help us to prevent infections and to prevent hospitalizations, I think it is a welcome development.
Mm-hmm.
And, discuss with your doctors about whether it's right for you, but high risk persons may be given priority. Everybody will not be able to get it at the first instance, but
Right.
it is here to help us alongside washing your hands,
Mm-hmm.
keeping a physical distance of 6 feet, and wearing your mask, because the vaccine alone will not solve this problem. But the pandemic is there killing people. And so if you have something that can help you, like a vaccine,
Right.
the safety is very good. Safety profile is very good. Efficacy is very, very good, better than many vaccines that we have currently.
Yeah.
So if you do get the opportunity, I would encourage you to to take it.
Can I thank you for joining me today? Appreciate it.
And thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks. All the best. Keep safe.
Thank you. Take care.
Great. Dr. Yohann White there. Yeah, so give to the cause, donate, visit the website at uhwi.gov.jm/COVID-19 plasma and check the page out. Quite an interesting page with information that you'd find interesting. Yes, so check it out. And if you can, please donate to the cause as they get their research off the ground. Yeah? This is Love 101, the family station. Catch you again tomorrow for another interesting feature inside the Healthy Way.